It's been long, man. Been long. A lot has been happening. Um, Getting consent forms, selling whatever I'm selling. Got my funded account. Understand? Now we're moving, boy. We're moving. Couple of ideas in the what do they call that thing? In the works. Yeah, I was looking for that. Couple of ideas in the works. Trying to juggle which one we should start with, which one we should go with. Learning about holding companies, trusts, you know, for future generation stuff. Being confused. Is it confusion or indecisiveness? I said in whatever. You have to choose one. Why can't I have both? Right. Um. Another thing I realized is is I've realized that in the midst of having all these ideas and whatever I'm working on, I've seen that you can't do all these things alone. Mm, you can't do it alone. It becomes too much. And then sometimes you always think about the profit, how much you're gonna make, and whatever. Maybe you say if I do it myself, I'll get 4,000. If I do it myself, I'll get four. But then if I do it someone else, I'll get maybe one, yeah, 1 or 800, which might seem like a loss. But in order to expand, you need to employ people, right? So that's what the idea is. And then with my work, all in all, I could say is the more you get exposed to the field is the more you learn new things. Something that Myron Golden said. He says, um, whatever thing that you go into, this is how I put it. Whatever field you go into, you can never say you're prepared for that field. Yes, you're prepared to start, but you're not prepared, or you're not ready, or you're not that person for that field. That field itself should make you the person for it. It's like jail or any other thing. Jail will make you become what jail wants you to become. It will. Yeah, you adapt. Let me just say it's adaptability, especially as humans. You know what I mean? Um, Somebody said it's not survival of the fittest. It's survival of those who could adapt. Right? In the world we live in, adaptability is one skill set that everyone needs. Especially as times change, generations move. We go from using phones that had buttons, then touch screens. Now touch screens, it's internet. From the internet to AI, you understand? You need to adapt, grow with the trends and whatever. And whatever trend you find, you milk it. You can't stay in a trend for too long, right? Because it loses its touch. Because things change that rapidly. So you need to always find something new, right? To tap into. You're just that person. You're just a entrepreneur or a creative person. You do not limit yourself to one field. You're always in different places, you know. So that's what I realized. And then relationship wise, as a guy, I've realized you can get hyped up by the amount of attention you get from girls. Yeah, big time. Like most of the time, maybe where I work, I just go there and like greet, hi, how are you? And then obviously we hug each other. Understand? But then my hug is not like a hug that is like friendly or my friend. No, it's a hug of interest. And then another girl would get jealous because you hug this one and you're like, ah, don't worry about that one. Those high school stuff, right? Like it gets to me sometimes, and I had to step back and realize that I'm getting trapped in a whirlwind of seeking that attention, from that girl and that girl and that girl. Why can't I have all? Right? Why do I need to only get one if I can get all of them? And then, which doesn't help me because, as I said, I don't have money. In fact, I'll say this: isn't my first time. Okay, I haven't passed that mark. The most I've made in my life from a job is how much was 2,000 in, I think, 2 months. Is it 2 months? Yeah, I mean 2,000 2 months. I used that money to buy a course, right, to teach me about trading and whatever. I went 2 months, but then recently I got paid 1.8 for work that I did for like a week. So I was like, okay, that's G, right? Like that's like an upgrade. I made whatever amount I made in 2 months in a week now. What? It fluctuates because it's sales, but that's the most I've made now. And that gave me the chance to buy the funded account that I have and continue with it until I make like 10 G's or something. It just depends. Just need to focus on it and do the most. And that's the thing, focus. Then the other thing is focus, right? Focus and discipline. Once you focus on the wrong things, especially girls, especially, I've realized as a guy, you can, as I said, you can get caught up in the attention you get from girls. I'm here for you, blah, 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 blah. You lose that focus towards your goals, right? Because now it's like you essentially getting what you've always wanted. You know what I mean? You know how people say we all, as a guy, you always do stuff for the next person, or for the opposite sex, right? For the opposite gender, for the females. Right? If it wasn't for females, we wouldn't be doing certain things. Wouldn't be buying that car, or that expensive car, or that expensive ring, or whatever. So now, since you have that girl, there's no use, especially if you getting um sexual intercourse, which is wrong. Uh, that's fornication. You should be doing it in the confinements of marriage. Now that you've gotten to that place, sometimes I'm just saying most guys, they see how I don't need to do much to get this thing. So since they already get it, they slow down. You understand? They get comfortable because they're getting they're getting that thing, right? But now when the person is not there, especially that attention and whatever, you work towards it. You understand? It becomes your driving force. Right? I'm doing this so that that girl can know that I'm the best and she chose the wrong person. You understand? You're using something negative to make something using something negative to make something positive. But then at the same time, once that negative thing is gone, what's your next driving force, right? So now it becomes a thing about purpose, right? The positive thing that you need. What's that positive thing? Is it family? Well, like me, I have family members living in places that I do not like them living in. But then at the same time, it's me saying I'm grateful, especially to God. Uh, he put my family members in a place, at least. Some people don't have places. Some, as I saw, they live under bridges, right? Like they put a bed there and they live there under that bridge. Where do they get the food? They ask on the streets and go back and it's the life they live. But then, thanks to God, my family members have roof over their heads. I don't know any who's on the streets. So I'm grateful for that also. So that's the thing. And then the second thing, in the midst of my gratefulness, I'm also grateful for my job and whatever I have. Now it's a thing of moving forward, impact, doing what's necessary, cash flow management, right? And associating yourself with the right people, not people who are going to lead you down the path that is wrong, especially People are gonna tell you to only spend money and whatever. Bitch. Me, I say it, boy. Ne? People may say, Kenangwami or Nyapking or something, or I'm stingy. It's not that I'm stingy, ne? It's just that I have a financial system. You understand? I forgot who said it, but then Dr. Myron Golden said this guy said this, in life you need systems, right? It's not the person that works hard that wins. It's the person who has the right system that works for whatever work that he's working at. You understand? So like finances. If you earn $10,000, if you earn 10,000, yeah, we deal with dollars now. If you earn $10,000 and then that $10,000 comes in your account, if you do not have a system, a way, a discipline on how you're gonna divide that money, then it will go to any place. It will be spent at any place doing whatever. But then if you have a system like the one I learned from Brandon Carter, that never broke again accounting, right? It's a financial system where you divide your money in certain ways. Like me, let's say I get that $10,000. That $10,000, 1,000 goes to tithe. You understand? I take it to church. Understand? Thank God for everything that He has done for me. Grateful for everything. Right? That's His cut. And then I'm left with 9,000. And in that 9,000, 60% of it, what do I do with it? It's for investments. Now, what is 60% of 9,000? 900. It becomes 900, 1.8, 1.8, 1.8, 3.6, 3.6, 3.6, 4.4, 5.4. Yeah, 5.4. So that 5.4 goes to investments. And then whatever that's left, so 60% goes to investments, 30% goes to expenses, 10% goes to blowing. So let's say that out of that $9,000, $900, $900 goes towards me spending, like blowing it, just blowing it, whatever I want, shoes, whatever. You understand? It just goes to blowing because you need to enjoy the toils of your work, as Ecclesiastes states, right? Because all of these things are a gift from God. Because you can't be working and then just working, and not enjoying it. And you gotta enjoy it because yes, you want to leave it behind, but you might be leaving it behind with somebody who's gonna uh, blow it. It happens. It's life, right? So it's better if you just enjoy it because it's a gift from God. So that's how it is. So I have a system. You live life on systems, financially, mentally, physically, whatever. Whenever this happens, I do this. You understand? Discipline. You understand? Order. Right? Without order, there's chaos. Right? It's just becomes chaotic, especially with finances. You just spend now. You don't have things in check. You end up owing people. Or it's just something else. So I have a family to take care of, so I need to be focused, bro. I need to be focused. Or maybe anyone who's listening to this, no, you understand now. You need to be focused. Like you can't be sloppy. Can't be sloppy. You just gotta be focused. Your family needs you, right? God says, or the Bible says, God says, a man who does not provide for his own is worse than an unbeliever and has denied the faith. You understand? So I'm not that guy. So whatever expenses money I get, I always send it to my mom because I still stay with her, right? But then let's say I move out, obviously I need to divide it amongst the rent and whatever. But now since I'm still staying with my mom, I send it to her, send. So it becomes G, you understand? So yeah, it's just growth after that and doing whatever we need. And most importantly, what's necessary is leaning and having faith and guidance and you know what God says and everything. Because without it, I'd be lost. I wouldn't know what I'm doing. I'd be in a very dark place, a place that he rescued me from, you know, which is which is what can you say? Good, but uh, necessary at the same time. But we grow as people, doing what we need to do and growing as people. So yeah, man, living a life of service, not becoming a body, and focus, man. You understand? Work time, consistency, get money, keep it, multiply it, and then we get to that point. Like today, boy, yo, we buy cars, man. And I saw the Supra, the Toyota Supra. Yo, it looks G, man. Like I saw it live. I couldn't go inside it though, but then what you call it's it looked dope, you know. It looked dope. If you could ask me to buy it. So yeah, man, that's the update. It's just growth now. My work, the ideas, funded account, holding company, and yeah, man, that's what we're looking at now. Other than that, man, it's just distractions, bro. Yeah, it's just distractions. And distractions, man, can lead you astray, bro. Like, big time. And you don't want them at all. I must reach a point, man. I've realized this now. Especially with where I'm at. As I say, you know, we gotta choose relationships with this girl and that girl, whatever. I must get to a point, man, where, because Brandon Carter, man, he says you must track every hour, every calorie we spend, track every hour that you spend also, you understand, so that you do not deny certain people their needed attention from you, know, especially if you was a girl or whatever. But then in the beginning stages, it is something that is what do you call in the beginning stages is something that is in the beginning stages, nah, you find yourself out of balance, as Dr. Myron Golden says. Out of balance and in focus. There were times where he says, oh, graduation parties or birthday parties, yeah, they were missed, right? But they were missed essentially so that instead of having a birthday party where we have to choose whether we buy the party packs or the cake, right? Or a gift or a cake. Let's sacrifice this one so the next time we have a birthday party, there's everything and even more than enough, right? So that's sacrifice, period. Especially now, as a guy who doesn't have a family. He did it when he had a family, right? But then, me being a young guy, being 22, I have an 8-year window. Can you call it an 8-year window? Where I have to do the most. Like, do the most, bro. And at that point, till that point, during those stages, I need to be focused. So if a girl says, oh, you don't give me attention, I'm like, but then I started it also. You see, that's the thing. I put her through that. It was me who said, hi, I'm interested in you. I'd like to get to know you better. I should have said, hi, I'm interested in you. I want to get to know you better. But then understand this, I'm in my focused phase or era. So you'll probably only get an hour a week at best, if not nothing. Unless you go to church with me on Sunday, then you might have me for the whole day. But other than that, see, that's the thing. Because now I'm focused on something else. Getting money here, putting it there, dividing it, doing this. You understand? Systematic. You understand? Investing here, making sure that my parents and understand house is paid for. This, that. Motion here, plus this, plus that. Moving like that. Percentages. Holding this company here. Buying this, buying that car, putting it. You understand logistics? You understand? I'm in that mode now. So a girl, it gets to that point where you don't give her attention. And then she says, "Oh, I'm leaving because you don't give me attention." It's not but you could stay. Oh, it becomes a thing of, yeah, I understand. I understand. I shouldn't have started in the beginning. But here we are now. Unless you have a kid with her. You have kids with her or something. But if you don't have kids, then you're not obligated to anything. Then it's only on her end to understand. But then also your end, you should also understand. But as I said, 22, 8-year window, need to do the most, boy. I don't care. I was telling my other gents, I was like, I may be stingy there, but then if you tell me there's an opportunity where I put in 500 becomes 10,000, I'm gonna put it, boy. I'm gonna put that and make it, take that risk. I have to. I only believe. Let me not say I only believe. The language I speak is return on investments, ROI. If you do not speak that language, me and I speak no English, bruv. I don't understand you. We don't come from the same place. We are not. We cannot relate. You're not relatable. Me out. If you don't speak that language, return on investments. In fact, I'll say this. This other guy where I work, he's our manager. He says he was telling us that his friend lives in a place where he pays 18,000 per month, and then he used to live in a flat right in town. So then he'd go to him. He's like, my guy, why are you paying 18,000 per month in a flat or whatever? Why don't you in a house in such an expensive place as a Gulf estate? Why don't you join me in a townhouse and whatever, right? And then he said, can I ask you a question? When you walk out the door, who do you meet? And then he said, oh, I obviously meet the guy who's selling oranges or some I don't like saying nyaupe guy, but then some guy smoking nyaupe asking me for a 2 rand or whatever. But when I walk out and go to the store, I meet businessmen in driving Porsches and Lamborghinis, right? So while you are arguing for a 2 rand and whatever, arguing for a 2 rand and arguing for a fat cake, I'm busy talking about business deals, business opportunities. Yeah, it might cost, but then the people I'm around, they shape. It's like going back to that jail thing. Understand? That jail thing. When you put yourself in a certain environment, that environment will shape you into the person that environment wants you to become. Right? Like my guy arguing for Amakwing. My my other friend, Binchakengwe, Yanawezang, basically business deal opportunity. I put this thing so I can serve for tax and whatever. That's the language they speak. They speak the language of return on investment. Not that other one. Argue. Bro. So it's just putting yourself in better positions and learning, right? Something I do not like now is the fact that I don't read. So I must make time. How do I make time? That's the question. Like now I'm recording this video. There's other things I need to do, but then I need to read something. Reading the Bible, I do read the Bible now. I found time. Now it's just the other part now. Reading mentality stuff, after the spiritual there's the mental. And then I need the physical one. Because I have the financial one, you understand? I need all 4 quadrants in alignment. You understand? So I can become that pinnacle guy that I must be that guy. Understand? I'm G in many places. Not that I'm a know-it-all. I'm just a student of life. So I need a place Spiritual, I'm reading my Bible. Physical, I'm gymming. Financial, I got my business ideas and whatever. Mentally, it's just the books I read. The books I read can be poetry, right? Can be poetry, classics, or self-development, right? Why poetry? Because when you read such things, you become a linguist. Is that the word? Or you are nice with words. Because instead of, okay, when you read a self-development book, it tells you discipline this, that, this, that, this, that, this, that. But when you read poetry, you read stuff like her neck flows like a waterfall and woo woo. Like when you read Songs of Solomon, eh, your eyes glisten. You understand those words, right? So if you become a linguist and a great articulator and all of these things, right? Because we are humans and we have one thing that animals do not have, and that is speech. So that is our greatest power. So if you can use your mouth as an instrument and say certain things or say certain statements or phrases in ways that in in induce certain feelings in certain people, then you could make it far in life. You understand? I'm not just reading it for maybe whatever girl I might date. Right? It's G, but then it's like a balanced thing. I'm that guy. Yeah, guys must be disciplined, whatever. But then at the same time, it builds intelligence. Understand? You understand? You can think of something quick, a joke quick, or something like that, right? So we're like, yeah, I was thinking about this and it just broke my heart, man. Boo, 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 boo. You become G, bro. Telling you. I learned that, I don't know who I learned it from. But I saw it, yeah, man. If you read these things and you constantly read them, find yourself reading these things. It's not drama per se, but then your lips, you know what I mean? Something like that. I don't know, man. Because the Bible has it. That's the nice thing, right? Because it shows me that in life you need balance. Because even like David was a soldier, but then when you read Psalms, you understand the poetry that goes into it. You know what I mean? The Lord, the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not even want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He guides me through paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod, your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, and my cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow us all the days of our lives, and shall as we dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. You understand? That's poetry, boy. That's linguisticness. That's articulation. That's essence. It's not just God bless our food before we eat, amen. But it's something with flavor when you read Songs of Solomon or Proverbs or some. You understand? So it's just a balance. You get self-development and then you buy something, vampire something, and just read it. And you become that guy. Because I won't lie. Even the ladies like that thing. Because it's mostly them who read it. So if you can be like James Bond, you understand? You become that guy, bro. You negotiate, you can persuade. You understand? You're moving in a different way, bro. Different from everybody else. Which is essential, bro. But you can't do that if you're not focused. Automatically scared. But family needs you. You need to be that guy. Someone that path now. Focus now. Must be focused and growth. Other than that, I'm getting distracted. But we move. Yeah, man. That's my update. Growth, man. If it's not growth, it's not what you want, my guy.